We want you to have space to fill with something better. Hello, hi, welcome. I'm Meryl. This is Meryl's Mystic, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and to live more potentially filled lives. And there's never enough space on the bios to put all that. So, we are here today for Gemini season. Are we ready? Well, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're ready or not because it's coming. Gemini season is coming. So, let's talk about Taurus season for a second. We're, let's see how many days away from Taurus season ending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I'm recording this on May 15th, and that's for the replay. And so we're on our way out of Taurus season, but there's definitely some Gemini energy that has already made itself known. Venus is in Gemini until the 2nd of June, I believe it is. And then Mercury has been in Gemini for about a week, and there is a fly in here who's going to try to bother me. Mercury is in Gemini, and then it will actually go retrograde in Gemini from May 29th to June 22nd, I believe, which is like the day after Cancer season starts even. So we really apparently needed some Gemini energy this year. All the retrogrades will be happening in the air signs. That's how the retrogrades work. There's usually three a year because there's 3 signs for every element, and it's through the elements. So I think last year all the retrogrades were in water signs, but this year they're in air signs. So there's going to be a lot of challenging of communication, and Mercury is the planet of communication, and Gemini is the sign of communication. So or at least just speaking. Gemini is the youngest sign, so they communicate a lot, but it doesn't mean that they always communicate well. They are, like most people know, they're associated with the twins, so a lot of Geminis tend to have 2 sides to them. My brother was a Gemini, and his name was Kai, and his other side we called Ike, because that was his name backwards. So, and I've known other Geminis to have little alter ego names. What I think that really means is that Gemini has a good, maybe not always a good grasp, but they can easily access their light and their shadow, and that can be beneficial, and it can be challenging at the same time. It's funny because I feel I relate to Gemini as a Scorpio. Scorpio and Gemini, I feel like, get the worst rep out of all of the signs, and that they actually, but they can be the most challenging. But they're here to teach us lessons. So, because I don't think I've met anybody who's never been burned by a Gemini or a Scorpio. So that's funny. But they always teach us something. If you really looked at it, they probably taught you a good lesson. Our sweet Geminis are mutable signs, which means they're at the end of kind of the I don't want to say end of the cycle. It is at the end of spring. The mutable signs are like at the end of the Earth seasons. And so Gemini is actually marks the end of spring, and Cancer begins on like the very first day of spring, or excuse me, the very first day of summer. So Gemini's helps us get out of or to leave spring into summer, And being a mutable sign, they tend to be, mutable signs are usually agreeable, and can like kind of go with the flow. I don't know how much agreeable Geminis are. They can go with the flow. They do have problems, like most air signs, in making strong decisions. I know. I've seen many Geminis, like when they're in groups of people, decide like, this is where we're gonna go eat, and then you're on your way there and they're like, well, maybe I want this instead, and everyone's like, but we just decided on this thing. Or I've known Geminis that you're at the restaurant and they're like, oh, maybe I'll get this thing, maybe I'll get that thing, and they want to try all these new different things, and then when it comes down to it, they order the same like thing that they get every time everywhere. So it's a balance. I don't envy them. I'm a Scorpio, so I can relate, but I don't, and I can understand them, but it's got to be tough to have kind of a very like swingy, innate personality where you kind of don't even know what you really want a lot of the time. And when you do know what you want, I think people tend to question you, and then that makes you question yourself even more, and it's a vicious freaking cycle. So Gemini teaches us a lot. It's going to be teaching us a lot this year, especially because most of Gemini season we're going to be in Mercury retrograde Gemini. So what does that mean? That means a lot of things. Okay, wait, we're going to wait to get to that. I'm not quite there yet. I'm looking at my notes. So the other thing I wanted to say about Gemini is that they are, I relate them to the throat chakra, so and the speaking. So that is really, and it's really about like thinking before you speak, balancing your throat chakra, and also like speaking your truth, not holding back. That's the nice thing about Gemini, which can get them in trouble, is that they don't usually hold back with what they want to say. And so we can really benefit from that. We were in like our heart chakra space in Taurus season, so we were really getting back to ourselves and figuring out what we really want and who we are and how to take care of ourselves. And now we're moving into Gemini season, where we're going to start like speaking that truth out to the universe. Like, it's moving from our heart chakra up, and we want to start really like telling people who we are, telling people what we need, and that involves like putting down more boundaries, or telling people that think they know us that we've changed our mind about something, or our opinion about something. I don't know why my phone's acting like it's gonna go off. Don't do that, phone, you're doing something. Oops. Okay. Oops, sorry guys. I'm doing Facebook and Instagram, so you should have seen me trying to figure out where to put my like little clippy thing to get both cameras in the same place. So we will be challenged with that, because we have to, it's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. And that's a really big, important part of it too. So some other highlights on top of retrograde is that we're going to have 2 eclipses during Gemini season. We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Sag, and that will take place, I'm mountain time, so so Pacific time, like California, we'll start there, so then you could just add an hour. Will be, it's like Wednesday morning at 4:13 a.m. That's what time the internet said it was going to be. And so that's going to be really powerful. The full moon is always in the opposite sign of what season it is. So this full moon will be Sag, and Sag is another talkative, unapologetic, doesn't usually hold back sign. But because they are a fire sign, and they are a little bit on the older spectrum, they are a little bit more purposeful. They are the archer, so they are a little bit more discerning about what they say and how they say it. They usually have a little bit of a eloquent way of speaking, and they can, just like Gemini, they can speak to everybody. But Sagittarius is just a little warmer than Gemini. Gemini can come off as a little cold. And that just comes from being an air and fire thing. So then after that is the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, and that will be Thursday, June 10th, about 3:50 a.m. Pacific time. So it'll be like 3:50, 4:50, 5:50, 6:50. And the themes of all of these challenges, again, are speaking your truth, aligning what you say with what you do. And that's really what kind of the Sagittarius full moon at the beginning of the season is going to help us do too, is making sure like how you think, how you feel, how you think, what you say, and what you do are all in alignment. And I know then that can be a big ask for some people. I totally understand that. But that's why this astrology year really feels like a lot of building blocks for us really stepping into who we're supposed to be in this lifetime and what our purposes are. So aligning with what you say, what you do. So that involves not just thinking outside of the box, but also acting outside of the box. Really getting creative, like really thinking and acting outside of your comfort zone too, recognizing where things might not be aligned for you, and then the things that might just be outside of your comfort zone, and so you're feeling some resistance. So that's a big part of it too, that we're all learning, is that there can be things that we're afraid of, or we're like, oh, well, that must just not be the right thing for me. But we really need to sit back into our discernment and figure out whether it's really not for us, or it's just pushing us into a more uncomfortable state. The universe is really trying to teach us how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I've heard this theme over and over and over again from people, from coaches, from readers, from all sorts of people, that it really all just ties in with like knowing ourselves and finding integrity in that, and staying in our integrity of who we are and who we want to be and who we're meant to be and how we want our lives to be, because it's a choose your own adventure book, kind of. It's like it's a co-creation, choose your own adventure. So that is really all the little points that I wrote down for Gemini season. It's hard coming on here to be like, hey, guess what? There's gonna be a lot more hard crap going on, because we've already been through a bunch of hard crap, and things are still hard. There are horrible things happening all over this world, and we are all in it together. And sometimes I know that many people can feel like they want to do something, they feel like they should do something, but they can't always do what they would like to do, because we're all dealing with something. And I struggle with the same thing, because there are a lot of things that I speak on and I like, and a lot of things I support and want to make sure that I am using my voice and my platform for the greater good. But there are some things that I can't speak on for many reasons. I'm not researched enough. I feel like it's completely outside my lane. It's not my space or place to maybe speak on it. And I think what I kind of came to the conclusion to, because, that was the other thing I wanted to say, was that with the retrograde stuff, you really want to like think things through, like commitments and contracts. You really want to think those through and do your own research. And I know we hear that a lot too right now with all of the social justice, what's the word I'm looking for everything that social justice is fighting for. There are so many things that people are just like, do your own research. But it really is important to do your own research. And that doesn't mean just on the social justice front and on like the news front and current event front. This is also like for you, and for what you're doing and what you want to commit to in your life. You really need to do your own research and seek out different opinions than yours, or just seek out people doing the similar things or different things. And because there's just so much out there. So if you're in a place where you wish you could do something, but you just can't right now, the simplest thing you can do is continue to work on like being a light in the world. Work on being your light and acknowledging the shadow. And I was just talking to one of my longtime friends, Avia. Hey girl. And we were talking about just kind of being those people in the world that want better, and so we do better, to hoping that, you know, realizing that all we can do is maybe just like be the change, being the change that you want to see in the world. And that can be tough too, because after a while you start to feel like people are holding you to a higher standard of things. So like, but you know how to do this and you're really strong, and you're like, yeah, but I'm also exhausted. And not to say I'm too like exhausted to do the work, but we all need rest. We're all doing our work and we all need rest. So I think, and so what we were really talking about, which is this image that I really loved, was being the lighthouse, and how being the lighthouse it's work. It's work to keep the lighthouse up, but it's worth it to be the light kind of in the dark. And it's gotten to the point though, because, you know, not everybody out there has the same intentions as we do. We meaning like the royal we here, where we're all here in the same. I hope that if you're here right now with me, we are kind of in the same view of just wanting to be better so that the world is better. You know, not everybody can have access to your lighthouse. And and she was saying, like, I don't know if I can, you know, be the lighthouse anymore. I don't know if I can let people access that anymore. I was like, you know, I totally get that, because I've definitely closed the doors on my lighthouse a couple times. But I said I want to remain the lighthouse, but I think my lighthouse has a password now. And the more that I was thinking about that, it's not so much that it has a password, because then that really, I feel like, can be misconstrued as like exclusivity, and we don't want that. We want inclusivity. And but my lighthouse definitely has like a code of ethics and a code of conduct that will help me be able to maintain my lighthouse and not be exhausted, and be able to uphold being that light in the dark. But that doesn't mean, I don't want this to be misconstrued as like, let's all just be this light and love and light and everything. No, you have to look at the darkness. You have to look at the shadow. You have to learn from the shadow and acknowledge it, and that, because that is the only way that you cut through the darkness with your light, is to look to see what that darkness is. I just, for some reason, since her and I talked about that the other day, it's been really like coming to me, because I know that we're all really trying to do our work, and we can't do everything. You're just one person, and you can only do what one person can do, and if your cup's not full, it's really hard to fill other people's cups. So that is a big reason why I am here. I want to help you be able to fill your cup, complete yourself, be the best you can be, so then you can impact this world in a positive way. Because that's really what we're all here for, is our relationships with each other, and how we're going to help each other basically create heaven on earth is really the goal. I believe that's the goal here. Which is why some things can be really frustrating, but we're also all here to learn our lessons, for the growth of our own souls, and for our soul groups and our soul families that we're here with. because so many of these lessons, especially those people, like those that we see learn lessons in the public eye, although sometimes it can be really frustrating or disheartening what's happening, there are people out there who are learning the hard lessons for not just themselves, but for us too. And so that actually brings me around perfectly, segue, to wrapping up just kind of this Gemini season, energy coming in. I wanted to talk about the Lovers card. Hello, the Lovers. So the Lovers is the representation of Gemini in the tarot. And the reason why I love the Lovers as Gemini is because, like we were talking about, Gemini can get a bad rap. But they love life. They love fun. They love to talk. They love to, like, get to know people. They're very social butterflies. And they're very easily lovable when you love one. That's why I've dated so many of them. So the Lovers card is great because it's the 6, so it's very nurturing. I mean, love is nurturing. We all want love. That is like everything kind of stems from needing love. And so the Lovers is cool because I've seen it represented also with like children, like siblings in other decks, where this is really about like soulmate connections and how we reflect back to each other in this world, and how we're mirrors for each other, and how we're helping each other learn these lessons. You see how there's like the angels looking over them, and they have all these like these tests and these things to be grateful for around them. The Lovers, it really just reminds us that we're here to teach each other something. We're here to grow with each other, and we're here to be mirrors for each other. And I really felt like, which R.I.P. Michael Jackson, and unfortunate for all the things that are attached to him and the things that he's done. But the song that was coming to me for this was, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Ooh. Okay, we have to start with ourselves, and we have to remember that we are reflections of those around us, and that people are reflections of us. So, and with saying that, I think we can get into the tarot scopes because I've already been talking for like 25 minutes. Okay. This has been a very, we've had a very rainy spring here in Colorado. I hope everybody's Taurus season was well. It was crazy like that. When we recorded, we shouldn't have as many interruptions today as we did for Taurus season. It was like that last bit of Aries season, and it went out with a bang. That reminds me, there was one more thing I wanted to say. Surprise! Because Taurus season for me, like the minute it was Taurus season, I was like asleep all the time. Like I took days off. I had no motivation for like a week, and then all of a sudden I started getting like slowly motivated and got a bunch of shit done and got rid of some piles that had been sitting around. I hung new art on the like art had been sitting around that I wanted on the wall. Like there was some really nice things that I got accomplished. There were some things that I didn't get accomplished that I wanted to, but that's neither here nor there. And so this last little bit of Taurus season, it definitely, like, we feel the energy starting to ramp up, but you should still kind of feel some nice alignment, still be taking advantage of going to bed early, things like if you're tired during the day, take a nap. We were witching out on Instagram. So the other thing I wanted to add about just this astrology year that I've kind of noticed as I'm going along, I actually like to I've started to just kind of lay out all the astrology events at the beginning of the year, so I can really start to tap in to see what's happening for everybody, for us. And it really feels like, and I wonder, this might just be how this goes anyway, and let me know if you're if you're into astrology, if this is kind of what you've noticed about the energy. But I've really noticed that there is this like expanding and contracting energy to astrology, and in especially this astrology year. We had some expansion in Aries season where we were really getting out there, and then we kind of contracted into Taurus season, and then we'll be expanding again into Gemini season, and then Cancer season's kind of come around, and we're gonna be kind of contracting again. Cancer is the crab that likes to contract, and then it goes into Leo, and we want to expand again, and then there's contraction in Virgo season, and it just keeps kind of going every other, like, expansion, contraction, this energy, which I think it's probably been like that because we expand and contract all the time. Shout out to my quantum travel teacher, Christy Garvey. Her company is Earth Magic Copper Crowns, and she does a lot of work with this expansion and contraction, and that was a huge pattern I noticed when laying out the year ahead. Okay, I'll look at the comments really quickly, and then I'm gonna start. Cassie is a Gemini, says if I've burned them, they haven't shown it. That could be true. There could be somebody out there. I'm like a guy or something that I'm sure you've had to tell some guys lately to like F off, and they're probably got some little egos hurting, and they won't tell you. So I'm sure there's some Geminis out there that don't think that they burned me, and they have. And I've definitely stung people with my stinger. Practice what you preach, La Blanche Butterfly. Yes, that is what we're trying to do. It is more challenging than we would like. And you just pulled a strength card for the reading. Thank you. Ooh, I like strength. Strength is a great card. I think that's the card for my birth date because I was born on the 8th. So, and that's usually the 8th card. Sometimes it's the 11th card. It's funny because I was just talking about like, but I don't always want to be strong. That is it. That is life. It is so funny. Recently, I was getting annoyed at stuff like you do because you're human, and Siri thinks I'm talking to her. I'm not talking to you. And I kind of said to like my spirit guides in the universe, it's like, I don't want to come back here anymore. I don't want to do this again. This is like, I'm done. It literally sounded like I literally heard it from like I've been really tapping into my psychic medium skills and practicing that more. And I did this amazing workshop with Cindy Keza. She's on a couple of Travel Channel shows, and she's really cool and really gifted, and her workshop is amazing. I can't wait to do more with her. And so I really feel like my guides are just like right here talking to me a lot. And I was like cursing them. I don't want to come back. I'm not going to do this again. And I swear I heard some spirit guide that sounded like he was in the back of the room going, this is it. This is it. We're here to do it. We're doing the thing. And I'm like, no, I don't want it to be it. He's like, too bad. Like, this is what we came here for. I was like, fine. But it's really hard to learn a lot of these lessons. My spirit guides like to talk shit, for lack of a better word, to me. They really like to call me out, and they make me laugh though, so it's nice. Okay. I just had this like feeling that in spirit, so I believe that the spirit world is like right there. We're all there. We all come here. We go back. We come here. This was created for us to learn and for our souls to grow. And I just like had this feeling that I've been there helping other people. I've been here a lot too. but I have a feeling I was like watching for a while. I'm like, okay, let's get back down there. Let's get in there. I'm ready to be a part of it again. And then I'm just like, it's like watching reality TV where you're like, oh yeah, I could totally do that and be in there. And then you're like in like the drama and you're like, this it's not as fun. I just liked it from outside. I used to feel that way about paranormal shows. I'm like, great, I can do this from the like comfort of my living room, is just be around a ghost or people that are hunting ghosts. Now I gotta go out. Now I'm trying to go out there and do it. Like, I can't not anymore. I can't not. So, okay, no more babbling. Some water. I take a deep breath. Through your nose, down your mouth is my favorite, but whatever works for you. Okay, so these are your tarot scopes for Gemini season 2021, and like usual, we will start with Gemini and just go around the horn. My hands are sweaty today. Excuse me. The cards aren't moving very quickly. They kind of feel like they're moving through like molasses or honey or something. Okay. So, Gemini. Page of Pentacles. I'm going to have to use this hand. Page of Pentacles, Gemini. Okay, Gemini, so this is cool. It seems like your season's going to be fairly prosperous for you. It seems like there's going to be some new opportunities that come forward for you to make the moolah. I know you like that. With the page coming up as it, though, like, I do want to make sure, like, am still hearing, like, discernment, like we were talking about, like, doing your research and not taking things at face value. I really feel like even though Gemini energy is going to be great for Gemini, we still are going to be having eclipses and retrogrades. The energy is still going to be everywhere. So really, you really want to like make sure you're checking things out before you're diving in. You know, test the water if you can. And if something doesn't feel right for you, it's not for you. What else was it? Help me out. Yes, discernment. I heard that. So the discernment, they really want you to be discerning, because I feel like it's just like, that's all I hear in the back of my head. Discernment, discernment, discernment. Really making sure that it's for you, that like, they're remembering that there are other options out there. That the first thing that comes to you doesn't always mean, you know what I mean? Like sometimes we get in these places where like we feel like there's no opportunity, and then we get an opportunity, so we're like, okay, this must be it because I've been waiting for this opportunity and I finally got one, so this has got to be it. And this just feels like that first opportunity might not be the one. That might just be like the door finally opening for more opportunity to come through for you. So like make sure that you're really like checking things off when these opportunities come to you. It definitely feels like more opportunities for jobs and making money. I mean, it could possibly be for some of you like partnerships, maybe like business partnerships. But it's really, especially during retrograde season, like you don't want to make any big new commitments unless like, if you don't have to, and if you need to, like you really got to make sure that you like cross your T's and dot your I's and like double, triple check everything. Like this is coming out in the Gemini and the future Gemini posts too, so like it's really for you guys. Yeah, I think that's it. I swear these cards are so sticky today. It's crazy. Resistance, because we're all scared. We're like, no, I'm not ready for all these eclipses and the retrogrades and all the Gemini energy. It can feel a little manic sometimes, y'all. It really can. I understand. So we're gonna hide when we can. Oh, this is interesting. So right after Gemini is Cancer, and we're going in succession. This card kind of like popped up. It was funny. For Cancer. Excuse me. Cancer. We were just in the Page of Pentacles. Cancer. Knight of Pentacles. So Cancer, I feel like you kind of more decided what you want, but you're not really sure how to go about it. And this is like your guys' readings, I feel like lately always like play one right into the other. Like you're very cyclical and very like things are very connected for you. Everything about you is like connected in your life. You're not very, Cancers usually don't like compartmentalize. So this feels like though, like you know what you want, you're just not sure how to go about it. You're just not sure maybe how to get it. And so there's a lot of like planning that needs to go into what's happening. And research, learning. Needs to be like, there's something you need to learn here. So maybe some of you even are like, need to take a course, need to sign up with like a coach. Maybe you're going back to school. This is the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight, but they do move. All the knights are movement. They're not permanent. They got places to go. They got missions to achieve. So there's definitely like, I feel like your guides are coming in and like helping you achieve whatever you're trying to achieve. But it's gonna take some time and some patience and also some trust. Also some trust of like, it's gonna feel stagnant for a little bit, but know that it's not permanent stagnation. And you're just gonna have to like trust that the universe is taking care of you when you feel like nothing's happening. I hope that makes sense. I think that's it for Cancer. This is it's interesting because like Gemini season does feel a little bit like there's going to be a lot of action, but at the same time with Mercury retrograde, it's like Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, so and it's moving backwards. So we could even have some of these moments where it like feels like you're going backwards, and it's like that's when you got to like catch yourself and be like, whoa, not going there. That's why like Mercury retrograde can kind of bring up old shit too for people, and old like communication problems, stuff like that. So really just like stay in the course, Cancer. Yeah, stay in the course, doing your part, doing your work, and trusting that Spirit is going to take care of the rest of it. Haha. So next is Leo. You're like slow moving cards today. Oh, here we go. Ooh, another knight. Leo, Knight of Swords. So Leo, Knight of Swords. God, someone got the Knight of Swords last time. So the Knight of Swords is the complete opposite of the Knight of Pentacles, and there is no slow motion here at all. He is the fastest moving knight, and he's definitely got places to go. He's definitely on a mission. usually the Knight of Swords, really, this energy is about making decisions and sticking to them. It's nice that none of these are coming up in reverse for anybody, because the challenges of Knight of Swords is that of acting before thinking, and and this is total like Gemini energy. So Leo, for some reason you are gonna be extra affected by the Gemini energy. I feel like the last couple seasons have been a little easy on you. No offense. So this is a little bit, there's gonna be like some action. It feels like something is coming, something is on its way that is just gonna like take you where you need to go. Notice I didn't say take you where you want to go. Take you where you need to go. So you gotta try really hard not to be resistant to this. And you have to really make sure that you're discerning whether, you know, when you're in this moment, something's going to come up and it's going to be probably quick and kind of scary. But you have to discern and make sure that it's just your resistance. It's not that it's not meant for you. It's that, it just might be a little different. It should be just giving you those like excited butterflies, excited butterflies in your stomach sort of feeling, where it's scary and exciting. But again, opportunities, there's a lot of opportunity coming up already for a lot of people. So yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like when the opportunity comes to you, you're supposed to act, and like the last two are like, just if it feels right, take it. But then also like you have to make sure that you're not just acting to act. Does that make sense? Like, don't just take action to take action. Like, it's got to be purposeful, and it can't just be because you're bored or because you need some movement in your life. It's got to be, you can't just take any action. It's got to be the right action. That will probably be the lesson for Leo for season. Got to be the right action, and you're just gonna have to do it. Okay, after Leo is Virgo. Tell us what we need to know for our Virgos. Oh-ho. Ha-ha. The Hanged Man. Some retracting or contracting. Remember we were talking about expansion and contraction, and the Hangman is kind of that contraction feeling. The Hangman's cool because it's like he's reversed when he's upright, and he's upright when he's reversed. And so the Hangman can have like a stagnant, stuck feeling, but it's not that at all. The Hangman, I feel like, has been coming up for a lot of people lately, and he's got a lot of, there's a lot of opportunity, but this is opportunity in like a gestation type of way. I always think of like the chrysalis of the butterfly, the cocoon. I know it's super cheesy, but have you ever actually read about how butterfly or like caterpillars change into butterflies? Nobody really like 100% knows how it happens, how they like get in this thing and turn into goo and then like turn into this other thing. Like, it's crazy. Like, that is the real magic of Earth right there. That's why it is used as a visualization for so many things, because it really doesn't make sense. Like, you can't wrap your mind around it, and that's kind of the Hangman energy. Like, it doesn't always make sense, but this is a moment where you kind of really want to turn inward and kind of sit. It's like a sit with yourself. It's interesting because with like the Gemini action, in combination with the Hanged Man for you, Virgo, it does feel like you almost need like moving meditation, like more walks in nature, more like connecting to like people close to you, stuff like that. And also connecting to like a higher power. Anything that's like outside of you that has a greater, bigger purpose than you. That this is something that you need to really connect to ground you, in to have something to turn to when things are getting tough. Like these are like what we call pregnant pauses. I know it's scary when I say that word, especially to women. They're like, please don't tell me I'm pregnant. That's not what it means. These are pauses that are like pregnant with like emotion and opportunity, and it's like before the birthing of something. So like on the other side of this is the birthing of something. So this is really like sitting with yourself, sitting with where you're at, and figuring out how you then want to like reemerge as the more evolved version of yourself. So this is about inner work and about looking at your shadow to like brighten the light within you. That is a big theme of this year in general. And you know, you can, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. It's a choice. I was reminded recently that, you know, here are the gifts that are possible for you. Here's what Spirit has like put in front of you, and you're more than welcome to, you know, say, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And that's what I'm trying to do is like yes, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna be committed to this. But there are a lot of people in this world that you put that in front of them and they're like, you know what, I can't go there. It's too hard for me for one reason or another, and I can't go there this time. And you'll have an opportunity, like either later in life or in another life, to do that again. But know that no one's judging you for not going. Well, no one in spirit is judging you, because Earth be full of judgers. That's where it's created, honey. We judge here. But Spirit, the universe, the higher power, the divine, won't judge you for not doing it. But know that is also a choice to like live a little bit in your lower vibrations, and that might mean you sacrifice certain things. You're going to sacrifice certain things either way. Like, you just are. Like, I have to sacrifice things to choose that. And if you don't choose that, you're going to have to sacrifice certain things also. That's the way love goes, baby. Like a moth through a flame, burned by the fire. Okay, just a little Janet Jackson for you. The Jackson family in Gemini season for some reason. I don't know what it is. It was confirmed for me recently in that mediumship workshop I did with Cindy Kaza that the songs that are delivered to me are the messages. She did a whole exercise with songs, and I was like, yes, I was so validated. I felt so good about that. I was like, yes, that means like I'm not just some crazy person singing weird random songs on the internet. I am like, they're coming to me. Okay. So after Virgo is Libra. Ooh, let's see. Here we go. Libra. Okay, no, Libra was the sun, and then I'm actually going to do this as Scorpio. And some more cards came out. We know what we're doing. That's right. Right? Yeah. Because I saw that one, and then I saw that one, and then I saw those. So, that's the way love goes. Sorry. Okay. Libra. the sun. This is so cool because Scorpio got this last time, and I was saying how it doesn't come up a lot, and all of a sudden it's been coming up for some people, which has been really nice because I feel like we've had so many hard lessons recently. I'm like so thankful there aren't like a shit ton of reverses, excuse my French, but there have been so many reverses the last 2 seasons, and I'm just like, I don't know, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm trying to like help you out here, and they just like really want to lay down the truth. So it's a great sign that we're like kind of turning things around, because there is something, even though like Gemini can be seen as being cold, they are lovable and they're fun. So like, let's try to have a little fun. Like, Taurus season was about enjoyment. Aries was about fun. Like, we still have to like put a positive, you know, we can't just like sit in the shadow. Okay. So Libra, sun. Here it comes. Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. So the sun is the light, and it is just kind of like, it's different than how it was for Scorpio, though. It is, for you, it like, for Scorpio, it was like the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's the light at the end of the tunnel for you, but like, it just feels brighter. It feels like you're closer to the end of the tunnel than Scorpio is, probably because Scorpio loves being in the dark, and they're like, I see it, but I'm gonna stay over here for a little while. Libra's like, get me to the light. Get me there. I need it. I need the light to live. Because you guys really like to look at life from the best possible like scenario. I feel like Sagittarius is probably the most positive sign, and Libra is a close second. You guys really see the world through rose-colored glasses, and this feels like a reprieve for you. It feels like, oh, you know what it is? I just had to put the card down. It feels like things have just been really rough for you, Libra, and it just feels like you can't catch a break. You know what I mean? Like, you just, and some of you can't, like, see, what is it? See the end of your nose to spite your face or something like that. It's like you've been in a really bad cycle of like, well, here's another thing. Well, here's another, oh, yep, par for the course. Like, and it's, Libra's so sad. Like, I don't want you guys to be sad. You're too sweet. You're too sweet, and you're too, diplomatic. I feel like that's too cold of a word. Like, there's, what's the word I'm looking for? You just want everyone to like get along and love each other, sort of thing. So, I feel like it's gonna get better finally. This is like, it's not even the light of the tunnel. It's literally like a huge, bright sunrise that's just like, oh, here it is. Here it is. Finally. It does. They just feel like, oh. I hope you understand that. I hope that's how you feel. That is like, I don't know how else to like express this feeling other than like, oh my god, like I thought I was gonna drown, and now like I know I'm not going to, like, finally. I mean, this is like I think the feeling that so many people are looking for right now after going through the pandemic and everything, and we're still in it, y'all. India's not doing well. Like, we need to help them. But Libra, luckily, like, and we need you to feel more in your light, because you guys do have a very contagious charmingness about you that like naturally humbles people. I hope that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to, it's like almost, it's all a little bit of like a pixie energy, and that doesn't feel right either. Like, I want to say like pixie fairy, cherub. Like, it's just this, like, you can't, when your Libra is in a good mood around you, you can't help but be in a good mood either, you know? And Gemini is like that too. It's another air sign. It's another dual air sign. So we need you guys to be in the happy part of it. Because when you're not, I'm having a Mike Pence moment. The fly just wants to stay in my hair. When you're not, it's you're not helping yourself or others, and we need you to have like that full cup. And that was kind of part of the deal last for you for Taurus season, was like, we needed you to have a full cup, but we also needed you to like recognize your value in that, and not accept other people into your world that isn't having a full cup. Like, you needed to stop being around the people that drained you. And I hope that like Aries and Taurus season kind of really like cleared those people out, because now it's just opening up opportunity for more light to come in for you, and more of the things that are supposed to be for you are coming to you also. Anything else? I don't think so. All good things, Libra. Very auspicious. Sweet. I look forward to hearing about it. Okay. Scorpio. Queen of Cups in reverse. A little different from last season, because since we had the sun last season, which was good, we needed to be reminded that we can't just sit in the dark. We need to be in the light. And now with the Queen of Cups in reverse, we need to, I feel like we need to not even be so like deep in our emotions. I've heard wallowing. Stop wallowing, Scorpio. Wallowing in your emotions. Like, I feel like we can, I say we because I'm a Scorpio. I feel like Scorpio, you can easily, I shouldn't say easily, because there are other signs that can do it very easy. But we can also be like a martyr, and just stay in our darkness, in our shadow. We can be, you know, sit a little bit too long in our sadness or depression, because we want to feel it so deeply, and I feel alive when I feel all my emotions, and we need to like let them out and truly honor them and give them their space and everything. But we also need to be aware of when it's time to stop. It's time to stop now, Mac. It's time to stop sitting in them. Like, summer's on its way. We had a long winter. We had some moments to sit in our emotions, and now it's time to kind of like finally make some moves and take some action that will allow you to be in a better space, to be to be in a happier place, to be in more emotion. It's kind of, I almost feel like some of you didn't like believe last season's sun energy for you. Like, you didn't believe that, almost like you felt like you feel like you don't deserve the light. Like, you don't deserve to have that like new opportunity, or to have the brightness in your life. You don't deserve to feel like you are the light. What's that about? Because that's a bunch of bullshit. It's bull. It's baloney. Baloney. Scorpio, you are the most intuitive and psychic sign, and I know that it can be so hard because you are just like a sponge for not only your emotions but other people's emotions. But it's kind of time to like lock it up a little bit. Like come on, man. Like, and I know I was like bitching earlier about being like getting the "but you're so strong" thing, and I don't want to be strong because I feel it. I get that. But You're better than this, Scorpio. You're better than this. You're better than like just wallowing in your darkest emotions. Like, come on. That's no fun. No one wants to be around that. I let myself totally be in my emotions after losing my dad at the end of last year. For months, I was like, okay, well, I had already gotten off my antidepressants, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be in this. I'm going to grieve the shit out of this. And I'm going to be sad, and I'm going to be depressed, and I'm going to cry. I'm going to feel all the things. And then I was over it. I'm like, okay, well, we did that. Now what? So I had to get back on the antidepressants. Still have my days, and I still cry all the time. That probably won't go away. But it's no way to live. It's no way to live. I wanted my moment. I was having my moment. I still have some moments, but like, it's no way to live, and that's not even how, like, you know, that's not how my father would want me to live. If he was here, he wouldn't even want me to cry over him for 1 month, let alone like 3 or 4. He was like that. He was like, don't worry about me. I'm fine. So that's, I hope, like, I'm not trying to make it about me, Scorpio. But they just want to remind you that, like, so if you are grieving, if you are grieving somebody who you've lost, Spirit wants to remind you that your loved ones on the other side are doing great. And they love you, and they want you to be happy, and they want you to enjoy your life for those that can't do it anymore. They're enjoying your life, and they're there for you. It got to the point where I like felt bad that I was being so sad about my dad. I'm still sad about it. Trust me. I still have things I can't do. It is a process. But you do have to give yourself the time, maybe even give yourself like a time limit. Because that's what I did. I was like, okay, I'm going to be in this for at least a good solid, 3 months or so. And then I'll start slowly working my way out of it. So, start slow. Be gentle on yourself. But start incorporating things that you like. Because I know, I get it. It is so easy for us to stay there, for sure. But they do. They're just like, but you're better than that. And it's also like, it's your superpower for sure, because I guarantee you're learning stuff. Guarantee it. I guarantee you're getting clarity from it. And there's plenty of gifts that come from your emotions and your sensitivities. Plenty. So start focusing on those things. Start focusing on what are the positive things that are coming out of it. And then ask yourself too, what do I need to do to get myself out of it? If I'm in a place where it doesn't feel complete, I don't like using that word either, because there's a lot of the time there's no completion in some of this stuff, especially in grief. There's no real completion. But if you what do you need to do to move on to the next phase? What is that? What's going to give you just a little bit more closure to feel okay about moving towards feeling good again? And what are the things that you can do to take care of yourself in order to do that also? Because it really comes down to self-care and being empathetic and, what's the other word I'm looking for? Being empathetic with yourself, understanding with yourself. Yeah. That's it. Okay. All right, next. Good luck, Scorpio. I'll be right there with you. Fun little side story. I totally, I've been sharing a lot of my grief journey because I think it's really important for us to talk about. And it's just funny how, we're so used to people, either saying everything's great on social media or being like, woe is me. And so some people don't know how to handle when you're just, in the middle, where you're like, this is where I'm at. And this is what happens, and, and this is what I'm learning. And it's funny when the responses are like, oh, are you going to be okay? Oh, I'm thinking of you. Oh, you need to do this and that and the other thing to, deal with this. It's not really what I was looking for. That wasn't it. So do what you gotta do for you. And just let everybody else fuck off. Just kidding. I'm sorry. But a little bit, yeah. It really is about putting yourself first when we come down to it, because the Queen of Cups is the Scorpio card. And I'm being your biggest advocate right now because I'm speaking from experience. So if you need more help for that, you let me know. Okay. Sagittarius. Five of Swords, Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius. Challenges ahead. Challenges ahead. Possibly current challenges. Cutting of losses. I can't help but think of the full moon lunar eclipse that's happening in your sign. And with the swords coming up for you too, this is, I feel like I'm being resistant of even delivering you messages because I'm just no. Sagittarius has been through a lot. That is the other sign that is heavy in my chart is Sag. So I always watch when I'm watching other people's videos, I watch Scorpio and Sag because I really relate to Sag too. I get it. It's all for your highest good. Let's start there. That these aren't they're not challenges to challenge you. I mean, a little bit, but they're challenges in order for you to step out of what you're used to to evolve to the next level. It's interesting. I feel like some of these messages are feeling generic, but I mean, watching what you say, but usually, okay, so maybe that's what it is. Usually it's, you guys are very eloquent and really good at getting your point across. So you might be challenged in how you even think and speak in this next season. Because it does feel like, because with the Five of Swords, there are people like walking away from him, and it looks like there's someone like crying in the background, and they've laid their swords at his feet, but he's already got a couple. It's almost like I got like the image of like Jax or like Pogs. I'm a child of the 90s, clearly. Like Pogs, like it was like they were dueling to win. Like this is like in Fast and the Furious, like racing for pink slips. I'm trying to come up with this different imagery of what this is conveying. It's playing for keeps, and that there will be sacrifices, and that you have to make sacrifices a lot of the time to get to the next level. I mean, new levels, new devils is coming up a lot lately. What was the first thing I said? Oh, Pogs. Where when you're playing Pogs, if I remember correctly, like, technically you're supposed to, like, you don't always put your best Pogs out there because, like, somebody could take them from you when not Jacks, it's marbles. Marbles is what they used to play back in the day, so, where, like, you would play for all the marbles. And you played marbles and you got all the marbles. You played Pogs and you got all the Pogs. It was banned at school because they thought it was encouraging child gambling. So maybe that's why I feel this like resistance is that it's like a gamble. See, because sometimes I get too like. The cards are just like a trigger for me, and then a lot of it is channeled. And sometimes I get too caught up in like in like the traditional meaning or what the message is. Maybe it's not even so much challenges, but gambles. What are you gambling? We gamble things all the time, like and we take risks. So I think too, because discernment is such a big theme for Gemini season, it's really making sure that you are like taking more calculated risks. Maybe it feels like some of you need to take more calculated risks, and then some of you need to just like take the risk. If you've been being resistant, you've been just holding back. And you're just like, I'm not sure, but I really want this thing, but I'm not being, like, honest with myself that I want to win this thing. Maybe it's time to take the risk. Maybe it's time to be seen a little bit more. Maybe it's time to be on top a little bit more. Many times we do not want to be on top because it makes us more visible, or it makes us more visible to be on top. And also we can be afraid of shining too brightly so that, in order for other people to not feel outshined. So it does feel like, yes, be discerning with certain things, certain decisions you make, certain risks you take. But at the same time, if you have something coming to you, like opportunities that are coming to you, that are, that you've earned, like doesn't feel like a regular Five of Swords energy, because so much of the time it's just like fives are a challenge, and this is a challenge for you, Sagittarius, because you're so like warm and loving and you don't want to outshine anybody that you hold yourself back from winning. Like and the time has come. You deserve this win. You deserve this win. You deserve to beat the other guys and get all the swords. You deserve to beat the other kids and get all the Pogs and all the marbles. Like it's time for your like it's time for you to like, declare like this is okay, like look what I worked for. It's it's okay that you might end up getting something, if you're like up for a job interview. I know there's a Sag on here that might be up for a job interview. And not to say that this is the one. I feel like they're coming later. But it's like, if you're chosen over somebody else, like, just take it. Like, if it feels right, anyway. It's like, but just accept, it's not take it, but accept it. Accept that you earned it. Accept that you were the best candidate. Accept that, like, that you can step up and be a leader. Accept that it's time for you to step into better, like, roles in your life, and more leadership roles, and just more. Yeah. It's time to kind of get your comeuppance, and it's not just getting them, it's taking them. And this is not, and I know you're not going to do this in a malicious way, and you shouldn't. Sagittarius usually aren't malicious. Don't be malicious, because karma. But it's time to take what you deserve, and take what you've worked for. Yeah. Last season we talked about, were you putting enough energy into what you wanted? And so now it feels like, okay, you've put the energy in, but now you gotta, like, step up and be your biggest supporter, to take what you deserve. Is that it? Okay. It's funny as sometimes the messages are just like, this is what you gotta know, and then some of them take a while. Okay, after Sag is Capricorn. We're getting into some more swords here. Again, not a lot of reversals, which is nice. Okay, Capricorn. 9 of Swords. This doesn't always look like a fun card, unfortunately. 9 of Swords comes up a lot when, like, we're having bad dreams, or we are maybe fighting ourselves internally. I actually just noticed, I love this because I've been doing this for years, and there's so much, like, hidden imagery on these cards that I've been noticing new things still. I just noticed that there's, like, almost like a little fencing match that's, like, carved into the bed here, and, like, underneath. So that really tells me that it's, like, there's some sort of, like, subconscious, like, internal fight, basically, that's going on, Capricorn. And you might know that this is happening, or you might not know that it's happening. If you know it's happening, then you must be, like, keeping it to yourself. So what are you possibly struggling with? It does feel like, since it's, it might be a little bit subconscious, it's, like, internal, inside, in your brain, in your mind, in your heart. Are you allowing yourself to kind of suffer in silence? Are there people around you that you can turn to, that you can let them know what you're actually struggling with? Or are these things that you've struggled with for a long time, and you don't need to struggle with them anymore? Could these be old patterns? See, because with all these swords up here too, these might be just, like, one negative pattern of thinking over the other. And this is kind of comes in from, because I feel like Capricorn does this a lot. They are way more hypercritical of themselves than they let on. A lot of stuff happens internally. And I think you guys can tend to just, like, attach to, like, the negative thoughts, or it's like you sometimes can get fueled by the negative instead of the positive. Like all the self-deprecating, or, like, you got to do this, you're not enough, like, you're not getting enough done, you're not working hard enough. Those sort of thoughts end up fueling you, and that's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable way to, like, to live. At least, like, we're in the 9, so that, like, it feels like there's, like, you might be coming to the end of this. Like, hopefully this means that you've become more aware that you're doing this. You've become more aware that your brain isn't always telling you the truth. Sometimes thoughts just float in from wherever. They're actually proving that, I'm pretty sure, in like quantum physics or something, that like sometimes things just pop into your brain that aren't even your thoughts, because there's just like energy out there all the time, or like you can pick up on other people's thoughts without even realizing it. But the difference is how we act on it. And so it does feel like you might be needing to like share if you're feeling these certain ways, so that like your brain, you can have maybe somebody else like help you shut it down, like a little bit more like positive validation, like no, you're doing enough, you know, or no, it's okay that you're worried about that, because like this makes sense. Like it feels like you need to be sharing a little bit more for some like outside guidance, validation, maybe even third party. Maybe you might even need like therapy and counseling. I love my therapist. Yeah, because if you're aware of them, great. But if you're not sharing them or talking about them, you're not gonna be able to work on them as well. Does that make sense? It's like you have to, it's a part of the like, you have to recognize you have a problem in order to fix the problem. It's like you've recognized it, but now you actually have to like tell somebody or at least share it, or at least like write it down in a journal and like examine for yourself where it comes from and why it's there. Where do these thoughts come from? Why are they there? And what do you need to do to get rid of them or to replace them? Usually you need to replace them with other more positive thoughts. Yep, because you can't hold on to it much longer, Capricorn, or else it's just gonna break. It's just gonna be the demise of you. It's gonna break you down, and then you're gonna end up in a place where you hate being, where you feel like you're out of control. It feels like it's a little bit of like a powder keg ticking time bomb, like holding it all in. My boyfriend might be watching this in the other room, and he's a Capricorn Aquarius, and I did not realize until just now that he does that. Sorry, babe. We both do. I have a huge history of just like holding it and holding it and holding it in, and then you explode. And then you just explode, and sure, you might feel better, but is the situation any better? Because nobody wants to hear you when you're yelling. They just told me that recently. I did a reading for myself recently, and they're just like, yeah, you gotta like say your piece, but no one's gonna listen to you if you're yelling. So it's like time to talk, time to speak before you yell. Okay, 4 more. This is there's just more to say this time, apparently. We've all been going through a lot, learning our lessons. Okay, Aquarius is next. Aquarius, then Pisces, then Aries, then Taurus. Okay, and that. Okay. So let's do Aquarius first and then Pisces. Oh. Lots of major arcana coming up for people too. I don't want to scare you and be like, this is major stuff. But I do want to point out that, like, this is major stuff. That they want you to really pay attention. If you're open to it and if you're paying attention, like, they really want you to pay attention. So Aquarius, the world. It's the circle of life, Aquarius. Well, this is cool too because the world, and actually Pisces has the Wheel of Fortune right after, which is very interesting because these two cards are very connected. The world is actually the last card of the major arcana, and it actually has Aquarius on there. So that's Aquarius right there. So these are the fixed signs. And the fixed signs happen like in between a Earth season. Not astrological season, the Earth season. And it is Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio is actually the eagle. There's a whole thing about that I could tell you. Or you can go check out Scorpio Mystique. But that is actually Scorpio, and Aquarius is the water bearer, the water carrier, and so there's a person. And so with the world, it is the completion of a cycle. And the thing about the completion of the cycle is that it's a circle of life. It is a circle. So where does the circle end? Right at the beginning again. So there are no true completions. Even death is not a true completion. Our energy goes on to someplace else. Everything in life is cyclical. The years, the seasons, the lessons. It just feels like they really want you to like stop holding on to thinking that you're gonna get to a destination. It's very much like, this is a little different from most world readings. It really feels like you gotta let go of the thoughts like I'll only be happy once I get to this place. And it's more like that, like I'll be happy once I lose this weight. I'll be happy once I get this job. I will feel complete once I have this other person in my life. Like that, these are things that they want you to like unlearn. Would be the best word for that. They are trying to get you to unlearn some things about what it means to be like a completed person, really. I mean, she's a complete person. And but there's some like, and that's where the real success is. Is when we complete ourselves and don't look for outside things to complete ourselves. And that really feels like, Aquarius, you might have gotten a quick one today. We can only complete ourselves. And the thing is that even then, even when we feel complete, we're still learning. We're still growing. I said the other day to my friend, and I was like, I gotta make this a meme. We are all learning to unlearn in order to relearn whilst remaining open to continue learning. And it is a never-ending cycle. The never-ending story. A lot of 90s references happening for Gemini season. So yeah, Aquarius, they really just want you to like choose to be happy, choose to feel complete. Like what do you need for you that has nothing to do with anything outside of you? I mean, I shouldn't say nothing, because there's things we can do for ourselves that involve things outside of us that complete ourselves. Self-care, art, connecting with people, things like that. But like, they don't want you to put so much weight on getting these certain things to feel completed, to feel like I made it. That, you know what I mean? Like, we're the journey. The journey is where we're supposed to be. The world is your oyster. So see it as that. Like, there's opportunity all the time. The universe is infinite, therefore possibilities are infinite. Anything is possible. Truly. Maybe not always probable, but anything is possible. So stop limiting yourself, Aquarius. So everyone, stop limiting yourself. You are limitless. Okay. Pisces. The Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is similar to the world, but this is actually the halfway point in the tarot. And the Wheel of Fortune is similar because it also has the fixed signs on it. So, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And then we also have, I'm not the best with my Egyptian gods. I don't know if Instagram can see me. Sorry, Instagram. Anubis. I think this is Anubis, and might be Ra. I can't remember. If anybody knows, I'm sorry. Let me know. I can't remember who it is. Not Ra. I'm pretty sure this is Anubis though. They basically represent like the underworld and like the heavenly worlds. And the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like, is the card of karma. And with it upright, it's like good karma. So it's good karma, but at the same time, for you specifically, Pisces, it doesn't come without its lessons. Pisces, I feel like, are suddenly kind of, sorry, Pisces, I love you all so much, and you guys are so great, and like, you're so sweet, and I love you so much, and I'm telling you that because, it's like Leo, the way like Leo kind of feels like they've got it a little easy lately, like, I feel like you had it a little easy. I don't want to shouldn't generalize that much because I know everyone's dealing with stuff, but sorry. What goes around comes around. that's really the gist of it. Justin Timberlake. So, and that's hard. No, I'm not. So when good things come to you, I should say, let's put it this way. When good things come to you, you deserve it. That is not to say that you deserve every bad thing that's happened to you. That is not what I mean. That is not what spirit means. That's why it's hard to sometimes just say what they want me to say, because it doesn't always translate the best. Sometimes it can sound kind of harsh. But karma and energy in balance there's a harmony to it. And so that's why so many times, in life, we're just on a high and on a low and on a high and on a low and roller coaster of emotions, and we're riding the wave and then we crash. These are just kind of the parts of life. I don't even want to say that I gotta take it back. It's not that you had it easy, because I know that there's been a lot of lessons. Maybe that's what it is. It was a few years ago, it was going really well for Pisces. And then very recently, you guys had to learn some hard lessons, and experience some hard losses too. And so it feels like now things are kind of starting to turn up right again. Thank you. I was getting the timeline confused, because it just kind of felt like they were throwing all this stuff out at me. So things are finally kind of starting to turn upright again. But you had to go through the shit to get there. So you're gonna start like feeling better and getting some rewards in life. But you could only get there because you had to experience the shadow and some losses before you could get your comeuppance. I mean, there is like a little bit of a comeuppance energy with this. So I hope you guys get some more comeuppance. Ugh. Either I'm hungry, which I don't think I am, but I all of a sudden started feeling like nauseous. So Pisces, I don't know if someone's feeling nauseous out there, you might want to go get that checked out. So you have to decide to accept the good karma, the goodness coming in is part of it too. Because it feels almost regurgitation. Like I feel regurgitation. You guys got a weird message last time too. Make sure, you got to make sure that to accept the good stuff coming in, you have to be able to accept it. I think that's just it. You're a water sign, just like how Scorpio has a way of wallowing. It really, it feels like you guys could have gotten comfortable in that for a little bit, which is really weird for you because you guys are usually very active people, and you don't usually wallow. But that was weird. Let me know, Pisces. What's going on with you? This is the last Taurus reading was weird too, where I was just like, what is this? This is the weirdest message I've ever gotten. So I do hope that there's some comeuppance coming, but you have to accept it. You have to accept that you deserve the good stuff coming in, for sure. Because maybe you just had been taking so many hits recently before this. You're just like, well, guess this is what I deserve, is this shit. And you don't. I mean, we all have to go through something. We just do, unfortunately. I wish it was different, y'all, but it's not. So yeah, okay. Getting there. Aries next. And then Taurus, and then I'll take some questions. Ooh. Aries and Taurus, what the hell? Aries, 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so let's get this out of here because I'm focusing on that too. Okay, 3 of Swords in reverse for Aries. There's something going on where you want to let go but you can't. Or you can't let go but you want to. So it's almost like you feel like you might be, there's things in your life that aren't serving you well, that are maybe even toxic or harming you. But there are other circumstances happening that make you feel like you can't let them go. Whether it's money or it's like certain relationships. But whenever the Three of Swords shows up in reverse, for me at least, it means that like those, like, you want to get over this. Like you want to get over it, but you're still holding on. Does that make sense, Aries? You want to get over these things that are harming you or causing you sadness or depression or making you feel like you're not like yourself. You may be feeling like you're distanced from yourself. With the threes, there's always the opportunity of there maybe being like a third party involved. So maybe you can't let go of one person because of who else they're attached to. Maybe you can't let go of this job because of who else it's attached to. It just very much feels like these swords in this little heart, like they want to fall out. Like whenever this comes up, I always imagine these it's like dumping, like it's almost like the blizzard where they do the blizzard test at Dairy Queen, where to make sure it's like in there, like it doesn't come out. I can't imagine like first day working at Dairy Queen, you're like, yeah, here's your blizzard test, and just like all falls out. But that's what it feels like. It's like concrete in there where you're just like, you want it to come out. You want these swords to come out, and it's just like stuck in there. Like, nope. So there's got to be some sort of like actual physical things that you do to pull them out. If you want them gone, you're gonna have to like do something to... I just hit the desk. Getting serious. Yeah, so I know I think that's gonna seem vague to others. To others, it's really gonna make sense. Bing, bang, boom, Aries. It's really up to you. But at the end of the day, you know what needs to be done. And it might... Recently, every time these swords are coming up, it's like, time to cut some shit off. time to like, just cut it off. And this just feels like there's reasons, excuses, of letting them stay there, and they're just, unfortunately, open wounds fester. So it doesn't feel like, it's like you might be also like giving these things and people a chance to get better and be better, and they just keep proving you time after time after time after time, like, that it's the same, that they're not changing. And it's just like, okay, we gotta be done then. Okay? Sorry. Okay. Last but certainly not least, what a fabulous season we had with Taurus. But Taurus, your season's over. So I was like, what the hell? The Tower. Taurus, this feels a little similar to Gemini, though, where like something has to be over. Something has to be over, and if you don't pull the plug yourself, it's just going to come crashing down around you, and it's going to make the decision for you. So this is one of those things where this is a little different, where Aries, they know exactly what they got to get rid of, and they got to get rid of it. Taurus, it might be a little harder for you to discern what is time to like finish. And a lot of time the Tower comes up, it's like, this is just going to happen, you can't control it. And there's a little bit of that, but at the same time, the universe is giving you an opportunity to make the decision yourself on what exactly that's going to be. So you have to decide what it is. You know, like Aries has got to decide when to pull the plug. You have to decide what plug to pull. Because if you don't decide, the universe will decide for you. And that's always fun. Because I really do feel like they're at, like, the tower can be scary, but this feels, again, there's like an opportunity theme here, everybody. We're all getting these different opportunities to take advantage of certain things. And for Taurus, the universe is giving you an opportunity to choose. That's amazing. Like, because a lot of the times they choose for us. That's why it is a co-creation. There's a combination of us, our choices, and the universe and spirit's choices. And I feel like they're giving you the opportunity to choose before they do. Like, hey, just so you know, you got to get rid of one of these things. And the clock's ticking, and you're probably getting some nudges about what could possibly be the thing to pull the plug on. You might want to sit down and do some, you know, pros and cons lists to decide what weight needs to be cut. But if you don't decide by, you know, this time, which for some of you it's going to be, you're going to have until retrograde begins, and then some of you it's going to be, you're going to have till retrograde ends. That will be interesting. That's what I just heard. So they're like, if you don't, it depends on how close you feel to this. If you have an idea what it is, or if you absolutely don't have an idea. If you have an idea what it is, you have until the 29th, right up to the end of the month, to make the decision. If you have no idea what it is, you have until the end of the season to decide what it is. But if you don't make the decision yourself by those times, the spirit and the universe is going to make the decision for you, and you might not agree with what they think they need to do. Some of you might want them to make the decision, and you also have the choice to just put your hands up and be like, I'm just going to let the cards, the chips, fall where they fall. That would be bold. That would be interesting also. But like, how adventurous of a Taurus are you? Taurans like control, and they like, you know, things to be the same. So you got to decide. Are you going to make the choice, or are they going to make the choice for you? Okay? Cool. Let's do a oracle card for everybody, for the collective, and then we'll get into readings. And this took way longer than it usually does. Of course, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to talk about everything for about an hour. Usually that's what it takes, a little over an hour to go through everything. And Spirit says, nay. We got more to say. We're going to talk for 2 hours. So, let's do, okay, because I haven't pulled one of these in a while. Let's see, where are we at? Where are we at, everybody? So these are Postcards from Spirit. These are Colette Baron Reed's cards. And these are always pretty cool. So, what does everybody need to know? That was like a double drop. Let's do this one. Okay. Dearest you, since you're on Earth, you understand how buildings are built, yes? I hope so. At least a little bit. A good solid foundation, and yet flexibility too, in case of earthquakes. Truth be told, you can't offer something sustainable unless it is built from a solid base, whether it be an idea that takes form one step at a time, or an actual house that needs a sturdy foundation dug, poured, and built. We want to remind you of this because you might need a little encouragement to see this is true in your life at this time. Celebrate the fact that right now you can repair the cracks in the foundation of your life effortlessly. as well as do a general site check to ensure your hard work is being well supported. Do this and know you are building your life on a perfect and sound foundation that will allow you to welcome the many miracles waiting to come to visit. We're so happy for you and so intrigued by what you're building. That was a good one. I'm going to read the second one because it felt like they both dropped. Because maybe some people need this and some people need the other one. This is a good one. If this is something that you struggle with, building your foundation and building your life on top of it, that is one of the things that I teach in my coaching program. Okay, next one. Dearest you. You, the other person who needs this. Everything is in divine order. Even in chaos, there is order, and we are always in awe of this. For you, though, on your human journey, things can get disorganized in your mind and physical reality. You need to get rid of the clutter, whether it be too many stories in your mind, too many what ifs, or fearful thoughts of the future or past. Instead, focus on the now. Empty your mind, clean your house, and throw out any object that tells you an uncomfortable story. Discern what you have, sort, purge, clear, and organize. We want you to have space to fill with something better. Spirit loves a vacuum as it gives space for brilliant new energy. Let go of what is not serving you and give order to what remains. See them and know their value. Your soul needs organization in order to keep your connection to us and to spirit free of distractions. You are so adored by so many. We hope you really know that. Those are perfect. I love these cards. Those are both perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Well, those are your Taroscopes for Gemini season 2021. Very interesting as always. I'm always surprised. I am at Meryl's Mystic on all platforms. I'm even on TikTok. Been trying that out. I am a relationship coach, mystical relationship coach, but I am also a tarot psychic medium. My link to book a one-on-one session with me is in the description, and then if you want to if you want to join my mailing list, because if you're on my mailing list, you kind of get a little bit more than you get anywhere else, because I add a little bit more of I go a little deeper in the energy layout and like kind of what's going on. It's kind of like a little bit more bloggy if you want more. You could do that. I am working on the website, and I'm surprised that people somehow are finding it, but there's not much on there. Like there is a sign up at the bottom, because I'm working on some stuff. But I think that's it. And then if you are curious about working with me in a relationship coaching fashion, there is also the link will take you to my booking page where there's a curiosity call, and we can talk about if that's a good fit for you too. And that is actually a 7-month program where you get me one-on-one and you get all this extra goodiness, and we, dive deep into your life and your loves, and we make the magic happen. Thank you for coming. See you next season. Bye, y'all. La, 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 la.